G'day mate, welcome to Factorio with me, JD. The mod I've actually chosen to highlight this week is called Production Statistics Monitor HUD, which I'm pretty sure is just like every single keyword they could think of to make sure it showed up in the search results as easily as possible. Anyway, it's this mod up here that I've been using for 2 years easily. When I first saw it, I'm like, that would be so good for you guys, the viewers, to be able to see how the base is doing overall health-wise. And I've had so many requests and questions about this particular mod, I decided, look, that's it. I need to stop and do a video about it. So, I'm going to actually start off in the mod settings page. So, there's a couple of different settings in here. One is, so the modifier key. The modifier key is basically to remove something from this list. That's all it is. We have a large icon on font, which is something I automatically turn on, so it's easier for you guys to actually see it on the screen. We have the show to production rate, which is the positive amount per minute, the consumption rate, negative amount per minute, production minus consumption, i.e. the sum of the two, and then we have a production divided by consumption ratio. Again, it's what I normally turn off. I don't really see the point of it. I don't need a precision value of anything greater than whole numbers. Default, it attaches to the left-hand side of the screen. Now, you can actually turn this option on and it'll attach to the top of the screen instead. They're really the only two options mods currently have to like really attach to the screen, so either going across the top or down the left-hand side. It has the default items, which again, I never touch. If you want to like go through and type in the different item names in here, you could, along with the default fluids. But that's pretty much it for the options menu. Now, what this mod does, and we did save it. Okay, so what this mod does is it tracks these items. Now, to add items, you can take the item and just throw it on this plus button. And in my case, I want to track both iron, steel, and we're going to even track some coal as well. And you'll see, as I turn on this smelting block, we're going to maybe not produce iron because it's appearing magically from a matter source, but we're definitely going to subtract iron. At the same time, eventually, we'll start producing steel. In fact, let's just duplicate the build a few times. There we go. So we're going to see our iron will crank down and our steel will slowly crank up, along with our coal. Our coal will start disappearing as well. Now, to add fluids, because you can't obviously select a fluid from your inventory and add it here, you can just click this button and add stuff like that. So if I was to get a fluid pump and throw that down there with a bit of pipe and a thingy to get rid of fluid, one of them. And oh, that's a matter void, a fluid void. Nope, that one. So if I was turning that on there, we'd start seeing that it would start tracking fluid, and I'd actually be making a whole pile of fluid, and it would be disappearing because it's obviously disappearing into a matter void. At the same time, you can see I'm producing 366 steel per minute, and I'm using 1.8k iron per minute. Now, the way this works, along with 87 coal, the way this works is it sort of averages over 10 minutes. So as we can see with our production graphs, they're fairly sharp in the way they kick up and kick down, especially over a 10-minute graph. If you add and subtract things and do all that sort of stuff, you can notice some pretty big spikes and divots. Because this is averaged over such a long period of time, you can know that, look, you can produce 30,000 iron plate per minute, but if suddenly your iron plate your production's going down and your usage is still the exact same amount, you can start seeing that, hey, I've got a problem and I need to go fix it. And I can sort of demonstrate that by, if I suddenly change all these guys to yellow belt, which means we're not going to get enough iron in to do our steel plate. And of course, it's going to take a little while to show up. Let's go to game speed 10. we can see we've had this massive dip here. In this in our 1 minute graph, in our 10-minute graph, you'll also notice it. But here you can see that it takes a little bit longer to update, and it's one of the things I actually really like about the mod, that it doesn't update instantly. It takes some time. So I can come over and look at this and go, okay, whoa, hang on, suddenly I'm using a lot more iron than I was producing. This deficit is a massive amount. Where do my iron go? Sorry, it's really hard to run around 10 times game speed. But if I swap these all back, and we go back to 10 times game speed, and we'll see this will suddenly curve back up, especially on a 1 minute graph. Boom. But this is going to take a little bit longer to update. You know, we're doing 1.4k steel per minute, and we're using 7k iron plate per minute. But you can see my consumption and my production is very much, it's a rolling average of 10 minutes. So it's a little bit harder to explain. It's technically a rolling average. But yeah, it's a wonderful little mod. I highly recommend it. As I said, for me on YouTube, it's really made a difference to the way you guys can see how the base is progressing, how much science we're using per minute, how much science we're producing per minute, how much science we're using per minute. I often refer to this, and I'll actually remove all the packs, and that's the other thing. Yeah, it's middle mouse button to remove the packs or remove the items. I'll often have red packs and space science packs, because red packs are normally the ones that go the fastest, science packs are normally the ones that go the slowest. And really, biters showed up? Bad biters. Alright, yeah. Before somebody has an epileptic fit, let's just ignore that. Yeah, I normally have red science packs and space science packs, and if I'm consuming them at the same rate, that's fine. If I'm not producing red science packs, it normally means the belt's backed up, probably because I'm not producing any space science packs. So these are the times when I go over and actually go look at the science build and say, what the hell's happening? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there whilst the biters go and eat everything. Actually, speaking of the biters eating everything, we can see this has dropped down dramatically, and this is going to take a little while to update. But you can definitely see the numbers here and see there is definitely something wrong. So maybe the biters did a better explanation than I did. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this short little mod highlight video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.